Hey guys, this is Derek White with the Ambit Gift. I wanted to thank you guys for watching. I'm here with Coach Alan Johnston. He's coached for 30 years and he's built a huge Ambit business, and we're going to hear his why tonight. So Coach, we get the benefit of, having a weekly meeting that we get to come and hear you speak. And so we get to hear your why a lot. But there's people that are watching this all over the country that want to hear your why and hear it in the terms that you have the time to tell it. Where at Ambition, it's kind of a shorter version. But would you just tell us your why you got started with Ambit, how you got started, and then your why?
Well, I appreciate this chance, Derek, because it means a lot to me, and it means even more to my family. When I first looked at Ambit, I was an absolute no. I had been a no to all the other things that friends had invited me to take a look at. But 8.5 years ago, sitting in a room and paying attention to do a friend a favor with no intentions of joining Ambit, I realized that the 3 reasons I would never do a direct sales company were answered. One, I'm not a salesman. As Derek brought up, I'm a coach. And I loved every day of coaching, but I didn't want to sell something to family or friends that they may or may not need for me to make money. And that's how I stereotyped home-based business. Second reason, I didn't have any time. Between teaching, coaching, being a husband, and being a dad, there wasn't enough time in the day as it was. And the third reason, I stereotyped that only the people who got in first made any money. And I'm not a greedy man, Derek, but I believe fair is fair. Right. Most people live their life building someone else's dreams, instead of building their own. And I knew that direct sales gave people a chance to do that. Right. But it's, to me, in my immature business mind, I stereotyped that still these people would make more than these people, stayed away from it. But I did a friend a favor and I took a look, and while I sat there, I realized there's no selling involved in Ambit Energy. We tell, we don't sell. The second part about part-time, my grandpa taught me a long time ago, we all get the same 24 hours. Value your 24 hours. If you have to carve out a little extra time to make a difference in someone's life, carve it out because it's worth it. The third thing that resonated with me was the compensation plan. I remember looking on that screen and seeing numbers that I couldn't wrap my head around. I remember looking on that screen and seeing numbers that offended me because they were talking about making more in a month than most teachers make in a year, and I was like, no, this isn't right. But I asked the question, if I started my business and I brought someone like Derek in the business underneath me or anyone else, could they make more than I'm making? And they explained to me, did a great job explaining to me that they absolutely could.
And that's happened to me, Coach. The person that sponsored me in the job, I made more money with Ambit than they did. They just chose not to work the business as hard as I did.
Well, and that's his prerogative. Mm-hmm. Shame on him, in my opinion, but that's his prerogative. But and the truth of the matter is, I got started to make $400 a month. That was my goal, and I had 1 year and 4 months to reach that goal because that would be on my daughter's 16th birthday. And along that 1 year and 4 month journey, still teaching, still coaching, obviously still being a husband and a dad, kids involved in stuff at the school, stuff at the church, junior volleyball, AAU basketball, still no time in the day. When we were in season, I was anywhere from 80 to 100 hours a week working.
Wow.
And what I did to value my time is I turned the radio off. In my truck, I haven't listened to it. Literally, I would say in 8.5 years, I've listened to my radio maybe 45 minutes since. I would really believe that. If I'm in my truck driving to the gym, home from the gym to the grocery store to pick the kids up at something they had going on, I had the Bluetooth on and I was offering the opportunity of a lifetime, helping someone see this for what it was, but also fighting every day to reach my goal of $400 a month. On our daughter's birthday, we gave her the white Jeep Liberty she asked for. You're in the car business, so you'll appreciate this. It only had 3,500 miles on it, still had factory warranty, and I wrote the check in full at the dealership. 1.5 years later, when our son turned 16, Leanne, my wife, and I had always said what we do for one, we want to do for the other. So on his 16th birthday, which was literally 1.5 years after that, we presented him with a truck that once again we wrote the check in full at the dealership. And guys, we all will answer this. Time flies. You wake up one day and you're 21. You wake up the next day, you're 30. You wake up the next day and your kids are getting ready to go to college. I don't mind telling you, I was scared to death how I was going to afford them to go to college. Our daughter Rachel, who's the reason all of this happened, has now graduated from the University of Oklahoma. Her entire 4-year experience, that's out-of-state tuition, regular tuition, room, board, books, meals, sorority due, and allowance, paid for in cash by this part-time job. Our son's a senior at Stephen F. Austin State University. I mean, yesterday we were giving them this car. Actually, yesterday I was changing their diapers. And now our daughter's graduated from college. She lives in downtown Dallas. Our son's fixing to be graduating this spring. You just blink and life happens. But what we did is we allowed Ambit to come into our life on a part-time basis, valuing that 24 hours. I didn't miss a chance to share the plan. I didn't miss a chance to follow up. And you know, I tell everybody all the time, the more no's you hear, the bigger your business will be. Not everybody's going to get it. They may not get it on the first show, the second show, third show. They may not get it for the first year, second year. They may have to pester a neighbor until a neighbor gets upset and says, fine, show it to me, whatever your situation is. But I'll say this, of all the things that Ambit's done for us, and being a man of faith, I know the good Lord's had his blessing on this. I call Ambit my financial God wink. I really do believe that. My wife's parents fell ill, unbeknownst to us whenever I started this business. And we were able to retire her 5 years ago, and she got the last 4 months with her dad before he passed away. That was such an unseen blessing for her to be able to have the quality time with her dad and not have to worry about teaching and coaching, which she did as well. And then, you know, her mother passed away in the spring, and she was able to be there for the remainder of her mother's life. And, you know, when I think about those kind of things, you know, not the materialistic things, I'm proud of my children for their college education. I'm tickled we were able to get them a car, but it's the hidden things that sometimes we miss. The fact that my wife was able to retire and spend quality time with her parents in their final days. The fact that I get to have friends like Derek and work with him on a daily basis to allow him to be able to not have to work for his mortgage anymore. To build a business so that he's not going to his job to pay for his home. Every month, because he's dedicated the time, every month he gets a check that covers the amount of his mortgage, and he's paid for his son's college as well. Guys, your story's waiting to be built, and it will evolve over time. And I say this all the time. If someone would have said, hey, Coach, start this Ambit gig, and 8 years from now, you're going to make multi-million-dollars, I wouldn't have ever started. I would have had you drug tested, but I wouldn't have ever started.
You'd have thought they were crazy.
Yes, absolutely. I would have thought it's just another one of those things. But, you know, my why keeps building. I'm not finished. We have a lot we want to do. We've been able to be involved through our church and mission work. We've been able to work and support a young lady who has absolutely nothing in a foreign country through our church. You know, we weren't able to do those kind of things. And I know you can't see it on the screen, but my daughter and son both were able to be in the Texas Rose Festival. And that was just a huge highlight that especially my daughter had always dreamed of being. And typically that's left for the bankers and the engineers and the big business owners in the state of Texas. And here were a couple of high school basketball coaches and a track and field coach that got to allow their daughter to be involved in it. And, you know, here's what I say to you. I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. No, I think I'm just getting started. And what my goal is to do is to have a room full of people with yellow jackets, purple jackets on. And if I'm still in yellow and you're in purple and someone's in black or whatever the color is, I'll be celebrating. Guys, this will work if you work. But your why, your goal, your reason for doing this, that needs to be what keeps you up at night.
needs to absolutely keep you up at night. Guys, we appreciate you watching the Ambit Gift. Find your why. Your why is what's going to change your business. Telling people what you're building this business for, it makes them look at that bill every single month and they think, I'm sending Caleb Johnston to college because I'm paying this monthly bill. If they know the reason why, then you can grow a tremendous business. I appreciate you guys watching the Ambit Gift. Keep watching. We post content every Tuesdays at 7 o'clock and every Fridays at 7 o'clock. You guys have a wonderful day. Please comment in the bottom. Let us know what you're trying to learn. Thank you for watching.